Hello, fiber fans, friends, and followers. My name is Beth, and I am here to talk to you about all of the yarny fun that I have gotten into recently. Truthfully, I'm recording on a new phone, and it just started recording, and I don't know why. I had turned on my camera app and I switched it to video, and I think there's some sort of hand signal or something. I think it's just showing a hand. So now I'm worried, like, does that stop the recording too? Am I in danger of, something inadvertently happening, which, good God, stopping the recording. What would I do? Anyhow, first world problems, friends. Today is Thursday, October 3rd, so I would like to wish all of my friends who are Jewish a Happy New Year, and those of you who are beginning the Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along, Happy Cast-On Day. So, let's get into the fiber fun. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I am, because now I just looked in the camera and went, oh yeah, there's that. I don't know how well it can be seen on the video, but when I looked in the mirror this morning, I noticed a little bit of bruising across the bridge of my nose. So if you're seeing that, I'm fine. I'm just a little bit clumsy at times. What happened is, at school this week, the teacher I work with asked me to go and look for some science materials, and they were stored in these big plastic tubs that had locking handles on either side. Well, I opened up the one side handle and left the other side locked, and I was looking in it like this and like going through with my right hand, and then I realized that I needed both hands for something, so I let go of the lid, not thinking that it's going to come down and come down hard, because it was still latched on the other side, and it just came down right on the bridge of my nose, and I felt so stupid at that moment. But good news is no major injuries, just a little bit of bruising. And at first I actually thought that it scratched me and that like I might be bleeding. So before I returned to the classroom, I went to the bathroom to look in the mirror, and I was like, oh, I'm surprised there's no bleeding, no scraping, nothing. But I'm happy and healthy and all is well, just slightly bruised. More so my ego than anything else. Fortunately, nobody was there to see it. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention. Today I will be showing the drawing I did for the Sandy bag giveaway. This bag. So for those of you who commented, and I apologize, I just kicked the leg of the table, so my camera might be a little wobbly. But this bag I did a drawing for, and I will insert that video at some point in this episode. So, let's get into the fun stuff. Today what I am wearing is an oldie but a goodie. It is the Sea Haven by Jennifer Shiels Toland, and I made it from Sandnes Garn Lena. And as I talk about it, I will show my little twirl that I did before I started. If I recall correctly, there was an optional pick up stitches after the fact and add a ribbed collar. And I think I did that because I remember the neck being way too wide open for me at some point, and now it's still a little big, but I don't think this is the original collar. I could be wrong though. I don't know. I do feel like it grows, this yarn. There's linen and cotton in it. I don't remember the specific content, but I do feel like the bottom has sort of stretched out a bit, and I haven't blocked it in probably over a year because I haven't really worn it all that much. And it's funny because initially I made it for a larger sized me, but I've lost some weight, and I think that I didn't want to wear it because I was like, oh, this is going to be really big. But when I see it on myself, I don't dislike it, which is funny because I've been recently thinking about oversized garments and how well I like them on my body and everything like that. And I am thinking I may be doing some more oversized garments because I do like them. I like to wear them. I like how they look on me. I think before, when I was heavier, I felt like I don't want to wear oversized things to overemphasize what I felt like were my flawed areas. But that's what I'm wearing. As far as finished objects, none. I have none. I have no finished objects this time because last time I had all the finished objects. So today will be about starting all the new whips. I have been sweater crazy these last few weeks. In fact, I did so many... I make it sound like it's a dozen. It's not. I did so much work prior to the first weekend after I last recorded that I thought, I want to record now. And I'm kind of glad that I held off because I did that because I knew that I had said I wouldn't do my drawing until at least September 28th. So I'm glad I held off because I really haven't had a whole lot of progress since that first weekend after. I've had some, just not enough that I would be like, oh, I have a full episode worth of stuff to talk about. So, one thing that I have worked on is let me look at the name here. It is my Uneek Fingering Chevron Scarf by Urth Yarns. And it's not like a ton of progress. I mean, okay. So this is Urth Uneek Fingering Yarn. It is a self-striping yarn. I am using Colorways 3003 and 3025. I believe this is 3025, the blues and greens and purples. And then my more purpley blues and greens and purples is the 3003. And so here is what I have so far. It's funny because this has grown quite a bit because I was in between projects and I was like, okay, I'm not ready to start anything new. So I've been working on this as the simple project that I'm working on. And I love how this is shaping up. And I feel like I've probably used about half the skein already. And so I'm wondering, how long is this actually going to be as a scarf? I really don't know. I'm sure it probably says something in the pattern, but I'm gonna go until I run out of yarn. That is my plan. So that's a simple one. I'm enjoying doing it. It is living in this cute umbrella bag. This is a very beachy theme that it's got going on. Maybe I should switch because the beach is long gone now in my thoughts because I'm not going swimming in the weather that we've got right now. Okay, my next work in progress is, if you see me looking down, that's because I've got my show notes sitting here in front of me on my computer. So I am working on the Traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry. And I am using an alpaca yarn, 100% alpaca, which kind of goes along with that whole sandy bag thing. I'm looking at this on the screen. I'm liking the way it's pooling. So this is, I have to look again. Shady Havens Fiber. It is their prime alpaca yarn. And the funny thing, okay, gauge, you guys. I gauge swatched with this, and I think I talked about this a little bit on my last episode. So I gauge swatched with multiple needles, and oh, here's another start I had, and decided that this one was too small because I went down a needle size. That didn't work out so well. I also cast on too few stitches. So I'm trying to dig out my gauge swatches. So this is the general pattern of what the traveler hoodie looks like. So you can see there's a lot of, there's stockinette in between rows of reverse stockinette. Right? Yeah, reverse, or is it garter? No, it's reverse stockinette. It's all pearls. So I have two different gauge swatches that I did in the round. So it's got these lovely strings in back. And I was so far off gauge. And so I started talking about it with my friends at Knit Night, and somebody had suggested that there are two different kinds of this prime alpaca yarn, which I don't understand why you would call two different bases of yarn the same name. But I believe it was Amy, who is sort of new to our knit group, that she like helped me do a little dive onto Ravelry and see this yarn and what different people were doing with it. And one kind, like the kind I have, let me pull out some of this so that you can see a nice close view of it. I think I need to cover my eyes to have it focus. So you can see that's kind of a boucle kind of yarn, that there's like this in and out quality to it, that like there's a small strand of something kind of wrapped around. And the other version of this appears to be a multi-strand spun. I don't know enough about yarn construction to really say what it is, but I believe it's multiplied and it is spun that way. Whereas this, I feel like maybe it's like a 2-ply, in that there's this very thin strand plus a wispier thick strand, and they're both sport weight, but this one has more of that boucle quality to it. And I think that's why I'm getting different gauge than what I'm seeing other people get on their projects in Ravelry. So it's supposed to be done, I mean, the recommended needle size on the pattern is, I believe, a 4 or a 5, maybe even a 6. I don't remember. But I went all the way down to a size 1.5 in order to even come close to getting gauge. And gauge for this was I want to say 21 and a half stitches or something. And I'm getting 19 after blocking. Or no, I'm getting 18 after blocking. So initially what I wanted to do is the smallest size of this because there's so much ease on it. And I even thought, okay, I need to go down in the stitch quantity for this, the circumference of this, because my gauge is so far off. And so when I did that with my first cast on, I went down 2 needle sizes for the ribbing because that's usually what I have to do. So I went all the way down to a size 0 needle. And that gave me way too tight of a cast on because it's bottom up, obviously. And so I was like, okay, this isn't going to work. I need to go up a needle size, and I think because of the intended positive ease of this, I need to have the same amount of stitches that they said on the smallest size. So that's where I'm going with this. I'm still not going with the recommended size for the size of my body, but that's because I'm not getting gauge. That, I've got 18 stitches over 4 inches where she has 21 and a half over 4 inches. That's off by 3.5 stitches, which is considerable when you consider the amount of times around you're doing that 4 inches. If that makes any sense. I always feel like I don't know how to say this math stuff. But I hope that the people watching me, that you at home are feeling like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. Or if you don't, I feel like I hope you're forgiving enough to say, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Who cares about what you're getting for your gauge? Anyhow, for those of you who may have bought this yarn at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, like I did, or any other fiber fair that they may go to, I just wanted to put that out there, that there's a difference in those two kinds of prime alpaca. So maybe I'll put a link to the Ravelry page for the prime alpaca on my here. In fact, let me do this right now while I'm thinking about it. Done. Okay. Next thing. I swatched again. This is the biggest swatch I have ever swatched. I am 100% certain of this. So I have talked about this, the Paulie cardigan. I believe I was talking about it on my last episode. And I'm wondering, did I do another gauge swatch somewhere? No. Okay. Look at how big this is. This is like, this is enormous. Okay. Wow. Okay. In this lighting, I feel like this part stands out a whole lot better than it does in real life. This was my original intended, well, not originally. It was my second original intended contrast color. I'm hitting, my bag is hitting the table, so I'm kind of rocking things around, so I apologize if my video is making you nauseous. So this was the Queensland Brisbane in the colorway Eastern Rainbowfish. So I had thought this was going to make a good contrast to my Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine in the colorway Bayleaf. Which, that's got to be a dried bay leaf because that's pretty brown to me. I mean, it's a yellowish brown, but anyhow. So with this one, I felt like I wasn't getting enough contrast. And part of it, which I noticed as I was doing it, is that one strand of this, I believe it's a 3-ply yarn, one strand of it is almost exactly the same color as my main color. So that's a problem because it really makes it blend in more. So I wanted something that would stand out against my background color, or against my main color. So then I thought, I was looking through Stash. I was like, what do I have? What can I use to make this work? And I found this Malabrigo Rios in the colorway Hydrangea. And this I had made a baby sweater in at least a year ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, for my niece's daughter. And I like that. I think it looks great, but I don't have enough of it in Stash to use it for the pattern. Now, this Queensland Brisbane is a bulky weight, and the Juniper Moon Farm's Moonshine is a worsted weight. So the pattern is to be done in worsted. And so I wasn't getting gauge in this. It was a little big. Now I'm trying to remember if I don't know that I soaked this. So I guess oh yes, I did. I could smell it. I did. So good news. That's done. I don't recall measuring to see if I have the correct gauge. I feel like I'm pretty sure that I did have the correct gauge in this section. And then I also decided to try another yarn, which is, I had planned to use this yarn, Junction Mill Fibers, something tracks, Making Tracks. Is that what it is? Yes, Making Tracks. And this is their DK weight. And I was planning to use this for a Spark cardigan. Spark is meant to be done in worsted. I have a sport weight yarn that I was planning to use for that, and I figured I can just do some math and figure out how to make that cardigan the right size for me. But I think this is a better use of this yarn. I've measured my gauge. I'm fairly certain I had it. Did I do any Ravelry notes? I don't remember what I did on Ravelry with this, but I'm really liking how this comes out. Let me see. Let me show you the skein. So it's purple and blue, and I feel like it will be a good contrast throughout. And let me see if I have all of my, so this is the Malabrigo in Hydrangea. And then this is the Queensland Brisbane. And so you can see, let me show you nice and close. All right, let's see. So you can see that there's this one strand, like right there. That is like a brown, tan, goldenish color that it just runs through the whole thing. And because of that one strand out of the 3, it blends in way too much. So there's that. I was thinking maybe I still had my original, which I do not. No. I bought this yarn at Wyoming Yarns in Cody, Wyoming. Hi, Krista. The Juniper Moon Farm. That's the one I bought there. And I had bought a different contrast color, which was also a Queensland Brisbane. And when I took the picture and did the black and white thing, it did not stand out enough for me. So that's why I chose against that one. As well as I feel like I didn't have enough of it. I'm not sure I have enough of this because I only have 2 skeins of it. But I was also thinking that maybe I can use some of the Queensland Brisbane in place of it, or even do the Malabrigo Rios. We'll see. Options abound. So that's that one. Not a real cast on, so to speak, but I did swatch. So I like to be ready for this. And here's the thing. I feel like I'm getting different gauge on my Traveler hoodie than I did in any of my my swatches. I think it's because I'm not swatching big enough swatches, and so maybe that's good that I did such a big swatch for the Paulie cardigan. Did I even mention the name already? Huh. Well, it'll be up here. You'll know by now. Anyhow, so Paulie cardigan, hopefully that swatch is big enough that I'm really getting a real likely gauge. And let's talk about gauge. All right, so my last project, isn't this a cute bag? I bought this right before the world shut down for COVID. And we were in Tampa Bay for a bowl game, and my daughter was the baton twirler with the University of Minnesota marching band. And so we decided to go down and watch, and it was on New Year's Day, I think the game was. And so we arrived New Year's Eve day, and we went out to a bar downtown, and we met some people who were also there for the University of Minnesota game. And it was so funny because they said to us, "Oh, we're not planning to stay out till midnight, just so you know," and my husband and I had already discussed this. We said, "No, we aren't either. We're too old for that." kind of thing. And next thing you know, it's 2:00 in the morning and we're sharing an Uber back to the hotel where we're staying. It was so much fun. We had such a good time. We had fun getting to know this couple, and we talked about getting together and tailgating the next season. And then the next season didn't happen because COVID. Anyhow, I'm not going to dwell on the past. What happened, happened, and hopefully we learned from it, and we will have a better future because of it. So, gauge. That's where I was. Gauge. This is the Garden Cardigan by ANKESTRICK. Is that how you say it? ANKESTRICK? I don't know. I'm guessing ANKESTRICK because that sounds more European than ANKESTRICK, which sounds extremely American. So I have done the beginning. This is the back of the cardigan. I am holding a strand of, let me go to this on my show notes. Barnyard knits merino nylon fingering in the colorway avocado. I'm holding that together with Knitty McPurley Stockholm Surrey in the colorway meadow. I had gauge swatched for this. I want to say back in July, and I did not in any way note what size needle I used. I didn't, I've seen those tips and tricks where, you do so many purl bumps to help yourself remember, because then it's right there in the fabric for you to just count. I did nothing of the sort. I just thought, I'll remember. So I didn't. So I just guessed, and I cast on with a size 5 needle because I think the pattern recommends a size 6, and I almost always need a smaller needle. So this is the back. You cast on from the shoulders and knit down, and then you pick up stitches. You pick up stitches to do the back. There's a really cool looking collar in back where it's like you pick up overlapping. So I haven't gotten to that point yet because I've only picked up on the one side. So you can see that nice neat ridge in there, which is, I like that detail. And it's got some nice lace, and I was going to say cable, not cable, a lace detail. So I have referred to this as my Oscar the Grouch sweater. So I don't know that I have anything that matches it to wear, but I do enjoy it. So again, I've got my alpaca thing going on, which goes with the theme for this episode. So maybe this would be a good time to edit in the Sandy Bag giveaway. Okay, the Sandy Bag giveaway. I almost just picked up the hat and started drawing, but I want to remind people what this beautiful bag is. It is a tote with, I believe they're alpacas, not llamas. And all over the back, it's got my channel name on it. It's got a nice deep pocket in front. It's got a nice box bottom. I don't know how well you can see that. It's got a vinyl bottom, and these nice handles that are perfect for carrying. It's got a pocket inside that you can go into, and it also has a pocket, like in that same pocket, you can unzip it, and so you can keep your notions safely inside, and it's amazing. So, ready for the drawing. Here we go. I wrote down all the names. They are here in this hat. They are bouncing around inside, and usually what happens is one of them bounces out as I'm trying to get others to move. And today, none of them are doing that. Oh, wait, no, there's one that's stuck. Oh, it moved. Okay, so, one hopped out. Okay, here we go. This one is going to Karen SH-E81 or I'm not sure which. So Karen, congratulations. Please get in touch with me. And again, I want to say a great big thank you to Sandy for making these bags for my channel. I so appreciate you and everything you've done. These bags are amazing. I love these bags. They're beautiful. And again, oh, my information will be up here or here. I don't know. You'll figure out how to get in touch with me, right? I have it below too, but it's in the description. So if you need to get in touch with me, it's always there. So thank you for all of those who commented last time. I really appreciate you chiming in. And Karen, let me know your full name and address, and I will go ahead and get this bag out to you. Okay, so congratulations. What was I going to say about this? I feel like I had more to say about this project. Garden Cardigan, ANKESTRICK. It's lovely. It's lovely. Oh, I know what I was talking about, my gauge. The gauge, I'm not entirely sure of. So I figure what I'll do is when I finish both fronts to the point that the back is at, I'm going to block it and then try it on and go from there. And if I feel like it is oversized, I can go down a needle size, and I'm not going to stress over it too much. It's a cardigan. It'll fit on my body. I can tell just by how big it is now that there's no question it's going to fit on my body. It's not too small. That's one thing I'm sure of. So unless this drastically shrinks when I block it, which I highly doubt, I'll be good to go. So I think that's all I have, friends. I do want to say one thing. One of my commenters, Sandra, who was a Sandy Bag winner, within the last few months. Sandra, where is her comment? She said, she's way up on the top, I think. Oh, there we go. She said, I don't know how I missed this episode. I checked my notifications and it seems I wasn't subscribed anymore. Odd. I did remedy that. So, she goes on to talk about how she liked all these other things. But I wanted to point out, thank you, Sandra, for mentioning that, because this is a glitch that I have heard about from other people. So if you think you are not seeing the people that you want to see on YouTube, I strongly urge you to check their channels and make sure that you are still subscribed to the people who you want to be subscribed to. It's really one of those odd things that happens. Nobody knows for sure why it's happening. There are conspiracy theories out there, but I'm one of the biggest conspiracy theorists I know, so I should know. Anyhow, whatever you are doing with your crafting, I hope you are enjoying yourself. I want to remind you to keep surviving and continue thriving, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.